Baptist Church in Marion. The dinner is an authentic Haitian meal consisting of chicken, beans and rice, a dessert, and drink. The meal is free, but the group will be taking donations to help fund its trip, which is July 23rd through August 2nd. The mission team will be assisting with a vacation Bible school, organizing an effort to feed more than 200 Haitian children each day, and helping to identify employment opportunities for the Haitian people in the communities of Damien and Bigorod near the capital city of Port-au-Prince. Reservations are being requested to help the group prepare for the proper amount of food. For more information, you can call 618-751-9239, search for Equipping Haiti on Facebook, or visit their website at www.equippinghaiti.org.
Hello and welcome back to the Ronnie Deutsch Tax Program. On the line is Paul from California. Hi, Paul. What's your tax problem today?
Hi, Ronnie. Love your show. Listen, I've got a big problem. You see, my paycheck was garnished last week, and I'm only getting half the normal amount. To make matters worse, the IRS froze my bank account. Listen, I'm embarrassed and scared. I need some help.
Listen, Paul, you don't need to feel embarrassed. You just need some tax help. And the great news is the IRS has some unbelievable programs that can eliminate your tax debt so you don't have to worry about having your paycheck garnished or your bank levied. Doesn't that sound great?
It sure does, Ronnie.
Then do yourself a huge favor and get a free consultation right now and tell them the tax lady sent you.
If you owe the IRS $10,000 or more, call now. 800-471-8817. 800-471-8817. That's 800-471-8817.
This is Dave Ramsey on AM 1150, keeping Southern Illinois connected. Gabriella is in Long Beach, California. Welcome to the Dave Ramsey Show, Gabriella.
Hey, how's it going?
Better than I deserve. What's up in your world?
This is just such an honor and such a blessing to just be able to even ask you a question that's going to help improve my life. And I'm just seeking some guidance right now. Me and my boyfriend recently moved from Buffalo all the way out here.
Wow.
And I'm originally from here. Yeah, so it was definitely something that we had planned on doing. We have plans for marriage later on, too. So we've been listening to you for a couple of months now. My friend introduced me to the Total Money Makeover, and just in the last 6 months, you've just brought such over my life that it's just...
Well, thank you. That we could help. How can I help today?
It's amazing. So I'm currently in debt. I'm current with all of my bills, and I'm on the debt snowball. So I have some stocks with my employer that they provide, and I'm wondering if I should take that out towards my to just like kind of like kick the debt in the butt.
Yeah.
And
it's not in a retirement account, is it?
It's not. It's not.
Yes, I would cash it out.
Okay, then. And then I also have restricted stocks coming in October.
Mm-hmm.
I was wondering if I should wait because I was recently in an accident about a year and a half ago, and we're in the process of a settlement being arranged, but I don't know how much. I don't know what will occur of that, but I was hoping to use that towards the rest of the debt because my debt is just in card and student loan. I went to Buffalo for my master's in trade and development.
So here's the deal. How much stock have you got? What's it worth?
The total balance is just under $2,000.
Okay, and how much debt do you have?
In October, I have, including my car and my student loan, just about $40,000.
Okay, so cash it out and put it on student loans. It doesn't matter. And then, and then the restricted stock is how much?
I guess I got it mixed up. The restricted stock is about $2,000. When in October, it's supposed to be about $8,000.
Okay, so you can't touch restricted stock. That's why it's called restricted.
Exactly.
So you can only take out what you can take. It doesn't matter. You can't take out the restricted stock, period, until the restriction's up. And the restriction's up in October. How much is the restricted stock?
I'm not sure, honestly.
Okay. And how much do you have that is not restricted?
2,000.
Okay. Cash that out now. And then when the restricted comes up, cash it out.
Okay, then.
And use it on your debt. And then if you have a settlement that you have to do, you have to work that out with the other debts that you're working on. And so, and what that assumes is that there's something coming out of your pocket that your insurance isn't going to cover. You had a car wreck, and your liability insurance should cover any settlement that comes up.
Yeah, and that's what I'm hoping to see come from the settlement, because that's kind of where the cards that come into place.
Oh, the settlement's coming to you, not from you?
Oh, yes, it's coming to me.
Oh, great. Then you'll be able to pay off a bunch of debt with that money then, too.
That's okay. So now
we have restricted stock. We have we have stock that is not restricted. Take it out now. We have stock that is restricted. Take it out when the restriction leaves. And when the settlement comes, play it. And everything else you can squeeze out of your budget, play all of that. And we're going to play towards this, working your debt snowball. List your debts smallest to largest. Pay it on the smallest debt, whatever you get your hands on, whatever source it comes from. And then knock the next one down, and then knock the next one down, and then knock the next one down. And you don't get to play with any of that money. This is grown-up time. We're using all of that money to clean up the messes that you've made. Dan is in Wichita, Kansas. Hi, Dan. Welcome to the Dave Ramsey Show.
Hey, Dave. Good to talk to you.
You too, sir. What's up?
Can you settle a disagreement for me?
I'll try.
All right. I know I'm right, but I need to hear it from the teachers to prove the point here.
Okay.
So my father-in-law told my wife last night over dinner that Dave Ramsey would say to stop tithing to your local church until you get out of debt.
No, Dave Ramsey has never said that.
That's exactly what I told her.
Not one time in 30 years. That's an easy one to answer. That's an easy one to answer. Now, let's talk about, I think a more interesting discussion rather than Dave's opinion, which is a Bible. So go study it and see if you find something different. You won't, because I'm right. This is the
Hey, it's Kelly Daniel, associate producer and phone screener for The Dave Ramsey Show. Did you know that in 2017, Dave Ramsey Show listeners paid off $50 million of debt? That's pretty impressive, and it could be you this year. Keep listening for more inspiration.
Folks, it's my favorite season, real estate season. According to the National Association of Realtors, existing home purchases are expecting to rise to $5.8 million in 2018. The market is still hot and extremely competitive. If you're buying a home, I recommend you put down at least 20% to avoid PMI and consider including a personal letter with your offer. It can go a long way. Now, if you're selling, it's important to know that in most markets there is more demand than supply, so you got to list with an expert agent. I'm not talking about your cousin Billy. And whether you're buying or selling, don't risk trying to do it yourself. Go to DaveRamsey.com. Check out our endorsed local providers. These folks are high-octane real estate agents who sell 2 times faster than the average agent without compromising quality. In fact, in customer surveys, our ELPs receive a 98% satisfaction score. Find top agents in your area today at DaveRamsey.com/ELP.
W253CR Marion, now at 98.5 FM, and the legendary WGGH Marion.
Special report, Justice Kennedy retires. I'm Mike Moss. President Trump says he will begin immediately to find a successor to retiring Supreme Court Justice Anthony Kennedy.
We will begin our search for a new justice of the United States Supreme Court that will begin immediately. And hopefully we're going to pick somebody who will be as outstanding.
Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell hopes confirmation will run smoothly and quickly.
I have every confidence in Chairman Grassley's conduct of the upcoming confirmation process in the Judiciary Committee. Imperative that the President's nominee be considered fairly and not subjected to personal attacks.
Kennedy's retirement gives President Trump the chance to cement conservative control of the High Court. The 81-year-old Kennedy has held the key vote on such high-profile issues as abortion and same-sex marriage. He's been on the court since 1988. I'm Mike Moss. An East Pittsburgh police officer has been charged in the shooting death of Antoine Rose. Correspondent Steve Burns.
Allegheny County District Attorney Steve Zappala calls it intentional and reckless. He says Officer Michael Rosfeld had no reason to shoot at 17-year-old Antoine Rose as Rose ran away from a traffic stop.
According to the witnesses, Rose shows his hands, turns, and runs. He is not in possession of a weapon.
Rosfeld's facing murder and manslaughter charges. The car Rose was in had just come from a drive-by shooting, but Zappala says Rose was not involved in it. Guns are recovered inside the car.
Teachers' unions sharply criticizing the Supreme Court's ruling on union fees say justices sided with wealthy business interests over the working class and public servants. The court ruled government workers can't be compelled to contribute fees to labor unions that represent them in collective bargaining. On Capitol Hill, by a wide margin, the House defeated the so-called compromise immigration reform bill today. On Wall Street, the Dow down more than 160. I'm Mike Moss.
Protecting data across modern decentralized networks presents challenges that traditional backup solutions can't handle. At best, you'll waste time and money managing multiple solutions. At worst, gaps in coverage will leave your data vulnerable. Barracuda Backup is a single cloud-integrated solution that simplifies the backup process and allows data replication to anywhere on your network, a private cloud, Barracuda's cloud, or to the AWS public cloud. Reclaim your data. Try Barracuda Backup free at barracuda.com/backup.
The Westwood One Podcast Network. CRTV's Here's the Deal with Deneen Borelli.
The left despises anyone associated with President Trump. Ivanka Trump is fair game to the left simply for being the president's daughter. And I thought liberals were the champions for all women.
Here's the Deal with Deneen Borelli. Download and subscribe at Apple Podcasts, Google Play, and the Westwood One Podcast app. Free from the Westwood One Podcast Network.
This hour's news is brought to you by Michael's Restaurant in Johnson City.
Up-to-the-minute local information when you need it. This is a Southern Illinois News Center update.
Williamson County will vote to see if it joins other Southern Illinois counties that are against the state's tightening gun laws. Commissioner Brent Gentry wants the people of Williamson County to vote to see if they as a whole want to be a gun law sanctuary. Gentry says the county will use different language than what has been used by other counties in similar resolutions. The vote will be taken August 20th, and Gentry believes the vote will be in favor of becoming a gun sanctuary. A Marion man was arrested and charged with intent to deliver cannabis, unlawful possession of a firearm, and driving while license suspended following a traffic stop that led officers to search his house and impound his vehicle. 25-year-old Malcolm D. Vishard was pulled over about 11 a.m. Monday near the intersection of Vinewood Lane and Pickett Lane in Marion. Police said he possessed cannabis and also was arrested for driving on a suspended license. Detectives later searched Vishard's house. At the house, police found about 1,700 grams of cannabis, a semi-automatic shotgun, weighing equipment, packaging materials, and a large sum of U.S. currency. The judge will sentence a man in August for murdering an SIU student more than 4 years ago. A jury found Gage Bethune guilty on one of 2 first-degree murder counts June 14th in the death of Praveen Varghese in February of 2014. Tuesday morning, Jackson County court officials said Bethune's sentencing hearing has been set for August 15th. Police found Varghese's body in the woods off Route 13 on the east side of Carbondale nearly a week after he and Bethune got into a fight. Prosecutors said Bethune injured Varghese enough to warrant a murder charge predicated on battery. Bethune's attorney plans to ask for a new trial. Carmi police say that a man wanted for assault has been arrested. According to police, 18-year-old Harold Ivey of Carmi was charged with 2 counts of aggravated assault and 1 count of criminal damage to property under $500. In the newsroom, I'm Tim Petrovich.
You're hungry and you don't want to cook. You've had a rough day and you just need to see a friendly face. So just jump in your car and go see Michael and his professional team at Michael's in Johnston City. Monday night's buffet night from 5 till 8 p.m. Get wing specials Tuesday from 4 to 9 p.m. Wednesday is family night. Pizza dinner for the whole family. Thursday is the wing buffet from 4:30 until 8:30. And Friday and Saturday, enjoy the Michael's buffet from 5 until 8:30 p.m. That's Michael's at 313 East Broadway in Johnston City. Always delicious, always professional.
Southern Illinois weather. Chance for isolated thunderstorms this afternoon. Otherwise, sunshine mixed with clouds at times. Daytime highs approaching 87. Southwest winds 8 to 15 miles per hour. Chance for scattered thunderstorms tonight. Lows around 73. Partly cloudy. Chance for scattered storms again tomorrow. 91. From the Weather Eye Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki on Monster Radio AM 1150. Currently, it's 84.
You're listening to The Dave Ramsey Show on Monster Radio AM 1150, keeping Southern Illinois connected. Live from the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, it's the Dave Ramsey Show, where dad is dumb, cash is king, and the paid-off home mortgage has taken the place of the BMW as the status symbol of choice. I'm Dave Ramsey, your host. This is your show. Thanks for joining us. Open phones at 888-825-5225. That's 888-825-5225. John is with us in Baton Rouge to start off this hour. Hey, John, how are you?
Hey, how are you, Dave?
Better than I deserve. What's up?
Hey, so I got a quick question for you. So I recently just graduated college, and I was able to actually secure a good job starting around $70,000 a year.
Good for you. What's your degree in?
Aviation maintenance.
Way to go, man. You're killing it. Good for you.
Thank you. So the question I have is I've never really been good with budgeting. I've tried budgeting multiple times. And with me now starting to get on my career path, especially with the amount of money I'll be making, I'm wondering how I would be able to stick to my budget since I wasn't even able to stick to my budget at my minimum wage job.
Okay. Well, there's not a budget technique that makes you behave. You have to decide you're going to behave. Okay? It's not rocket science. All a budget is you're going to write down before the month begins where every one of your dollars is going to go. You're going to give every dollar a mission, every dollar an assignment. Now, if you're an aircraft mechanic, you have to be, by definition, a process-driven guy.
Yes.
If you do not follow proper processes, aircraft crash because of you. Right?
Yes, sir.
And so you don't have a choice. You can choose to follow the process, and then you fix the engine or the landing gear or whatever the element is you're working on properly because you chose to follow a prescribed process. You don't get to freeform when you're an aircraft mechanic. You don't get to make it up as you go.
Yeah.
You have to know the steps and follow the steps. Agreed?
Correct.
So use that same discipline to keep control of your personal life that you keep from crashing aircraft. And so, and it's simple as this. Before the month begins, we're going to write down where every one of your dollars are going to go. An easy way to do that is the Every Dollar Budgeting app. It makes it easier to do because it's automated in that as you fill it out, it calculates for you. But it's as simple as this. Have you yet gotten a paycheck?
Not yet. I'm right now going through the process, so I need to get security clearance because it is technically a government job.
Okay. All right. So when will you get your first paycheck?
Probably within the next 2 months.
Okay. What are you eating on in the meantime?
Right now, I'm still working at my current job. That's making around 15, and I'm still working.
So you think you're going to make 70, and so 60, 55 take-home pay probably, something like that. So let's say that let's just make up a number, okay? Let's say that your take-home pay from your new job is $4,500. It's more. It's probably a little more than that, but let's just make it. Let's call it $5,000. It's not that either, but let's just call it $5,000. Okay? Do you know how often you'll be paid? Once a week?
Weekly.
Every week. Okay.
Every week.
Okay, and so that would mean that you're getting about $1,000 a week, roughly. Right. Okay. So in the beginning of a week, you get $1,000, and every month you would get either $4,000 or $5,000, depending on how many Fridays there are. So you look at this month. And you say, I'm going to get 4 $1,000 checks, $1,023, or whatever they are, right? I'm going to write it down, how many, and I know exactly how many of those I'm going to get this month, because I can look at this month's income and this month's calendar and know what I'm going to make. So this is what I'm going to make, and then you put that at the top of the list for the whole month, and you say, okay, for the month, this is what we're going to make, and I'm going to give every one of those dollars a name. First thing I'm going to do is pay rent, and then I'm going to buy food, and then I'm going to pay my lights and water, and then I'm going to start paying, having gas and insurance. Hopefully you don't have a car payment.
I do.
Okay.
Right now,
then we're going to start working. Then we're going to start working to get out of debt. But every one of those dollars, for the whole month, has a name, and then you can do it for the week. This week, the $1,000 goes to this. It goes to these 5 things or these 6 things or wherever you're going to put it. But you just give those dollars a name before the month, and then once you've set that in place, that is your manual. That's your operating manual, and you follow that manual. It's the boss of you. Just like when you open an aircraft maintenance manual, it's the boss of you. You have to follow those procedures or you're going to crash an aircraft. And so once you've written this down, and every dollar has an assignment, if you spend money that is not on that game plan, you're going to screw up your process. You didn't follow the manual. The good news is you're writing the manual every month. You give every one of these dollars an assignment every month before the month begins. And when you do that, then you follow it. And if you'll treat it just like it's an aircraft maintenance manual and say, I wrote the manual and I'm going to follow that. If I want to change it, I can change it. But if I'm going to raise one category, my entertainment category, by $100, I've got to lower another category by $100 or categories because I don't have that money. I've given every one of these dollars an assignment, and I'll be in the hole. And so don't, you have to intentionally screw up then once you've laid it all out. And so that's what you want to do. You want to lay it out and stick to the plan. You're the boss of the plan until the plan is done, then the plan is the boss of you. And it's like when you're 4 years old and your little brother said, you're not the boss of me. It's that kind of a thing. That's the way you look at it. But it is the boss of you once you get it in place. And those of you that are married, the two of you are setting the plan in place, and then the plan is the boss of both of you. You are agreeing, you're contracting with each other that this is what we're going to spend the money on. It is permission to spend in those categories that you've pre-agreed. It is permission denied to spend in the categories you did not pre-agree. And if you're married, you have to go back and have an emergency budget committee meeting to shift money around if you want to move money around. And you don't do that after the fact. You do that together before the fact. And in your case, what you're going to do, John, is you're going to give every one of these dollars. Then that becomes your manual. That becomes your money manual, just like you've got an aircraft maintenance manual. And you follow it step by step by step. And only way you spend money that's not on there is if you go back and change your own plan and adjust it. The good news with every dollar is it's on your iPhone, so it's right there with you all the time, and you'll know right where you are on your budget. And that changes everything. And there's almost 5 million people using the Every Dollar Budget now. It's the fastest growing budgeting app in America, well, or worldwide for that matter. This is the Dave Ramsey Show. This is Dave Ramsey on Monster Radio, AM 1150. Join my buddies Rick and Bubba weekday mornings for fun the whole family can listen to. Did you catch the news story about hackers targeting schools and stealing students' personal information? Cyber thieves are preying on our schools' outdated systems to get students' names, birth dates, and social security numbers, which is everything needed to steal their identities. Kids are the perfect victims since typically no one finds out about the theft for years. It's happening all over the country and shows that no one is safe, not even our children. This is what makes Xander's ID theft plan such a great value. They monitor your personal info to help you reduce your risk and take over all the work if you become a victim. Best of all, your kids are covered for free on their family plan. Nobody else does this. Call 800-356-4280. or visit Xander.com. Protecting your entire family has just become a necessity, and Xander's plan is just the smarter, more affordable way to do it. Call 800-356-4282 or Xander.com.
Christians have an affordable and credible way to meet their overwhelming healthcare costs. It's Christian Healthcare Ministries, the original health cost sharing ministry, a Better Business Bureau accredited organization. CHM members share to pay each other's medical bills. It's not insurance. It's Christians financially and spiritually supporting each other. It's what CHM has done for over 35 years. Learn more at chministries.org. That's chministries.org. Christian Healthcare Ministries is a proud sponsor of Dave Ramsey live events.
Guess what, folks? When you do a written budget on purpose, you can afford the things you enjoy. Sharon and I believe that good betting is not only something to enjoy, but also worth investing in. That's why we are huge fans of Bowl and Branch. These guys really are setting the standard with their 100% organic cotton sheets. Check them out at bowlandbranch.com. When you buy a set, be sure and use the promo code RAMSEY. That's BOLL and branch.com.
Let's check the closing numbers now on the Chicago Board of Trade. I'm Jim Taylor. Corn steady, beans also steady, and wheat trading this Thursday higher. July corn closing at $352.5 unchanged. September corn up 1/2, $361 3/4. December corn unchanged, $373 1/4. July beans closing at $867.5, up 1/4. August beans unchanged, $873. September beans up 1/2, $878.5. July wheat ending the day up a dime, $479.5. September wheat up 5.5, $488.5, and December wheat $503 3/4, up 3 1/4. July bean meal $333.90. That's up at 20 cents. July bean oil $29.01, up 7 cents. That's a look at the closing numbers on the Chicago Board of Trade. I'm Jim Taylor.
Dexter's Yard Care can take all the pain and strain out of maintaining your residential or business lawn. Come on. Think about it after buying and maintaining the equipment and all the time and sweating and, of course, the gas. It may be more affordable and a lot easier to hire Dexter's Yard Care, and they're 100% fully insured. So if he cuts his foot off in your lawn, you're not responsible for it. Dexter's Yard Care, where they really do care. Call for your free estimate today. 618-926-6645 or Facebook.com/Dexter's Yard Care.
My show isn't just about left and right, Democrats versus Republicans, liberals fighting conservatives. The Mike Gallagher Show is about life, family, friends, how you're going to pay for your kids' college, what information you need to get that promotion, how do you help your fellow man. It's also about standing up to power, whether that's the senator who's handing out favors to big donors or the race hustlers who divide. Follow the Mike Gallagher Show at Facebook or Twitter at Radio Talker Mike and online at MikeOnline.com. It's the Mike Gallagher Show.
Weekday afternoons 4 till 7 on Monster Radio, AM 1150.
This is Dave Ramsey on AM 1150, keeping Southern Illinois connected. If you are a business owner, you're an HR professional, the month of June is National Employee Well-Being Month. Really? Well, that's a thing. It's a thing. Seriously, it's very smart for anyone in business, you know this, to love your people well, to serve your people, to care about the wellness, the well-being of your folks on your team. And if you want to provide people the best benefits you can, that includes helping them manage their money. And that's what our Smart Dollar program does. It is the best financial wellness program on the planet. That's why more employers are using Smart Dollar than any other financial wellness program out there. And it's based on what I've been teaching for 25 years, but it's designed specifically for the workplace. It's accessible anytime, anywhere, on any device. And it includes every dollar plus for your employees. Yeah, hooked to the bank and everything. It's included. Visit SmartDollar/Blueprint to learn more about a guide to showing your team how to have this life-changing benefit. Smart Dollar is incredible, and lots of teams are having a lot of fun with this. So smartdollar.com/blueprint if you're interested in having this at your workplace. Solange is with us in Richmond, Virginia. Hey, how are you?
Hey, Dave. I am overwhelmed and confused right now.
What's up?
My husband and I are drowning in debt. We went from...
Wait. Stop. I can't understand you. You're not speaking directly into your phone.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay. My husband and I went from 3 incomes to 2 incomes a couple of months ago.
Mm-hmm.
This past weekend, we wrote out our debt snowball and our budget, and we are in the red. We have 2 personal loans that we consolidated from a 5-year term to a 3-year term a year back. So our payments are really high, and we can't afford them. So I called the bank to see if there was something we could work out. And, of course, they said there's no help that they can offer us. So I don't know.
What is your household income, and who lost a job?
My husband lost one of his jobs. Our household income right now is $97K.
$97,000.
Yes.
Okay.
A year.
And how much debt do you have that is not on your home?
We are $172,000 in debt.
Okay. And break that down for me.
Okay. We have 16 credit cards, 16,000 credit cards. We have a 10,000 car loan.
Car loan. Okay.
We have 48,000 in student loans. 46,000 in personal loans. And we have a 50,000 family loan.
Okay. All right. And you've got payments set up on all of these.
Yes.
And how much is your house payment?
It's $1,299.
Okay, that's not the problem. All right. Have you cut up the credit cards?
Yes.
Okay. Are the student loans on hardship deferral?
No.
Are you paying the family back systematically?
The family we are not paying back right now.
Okay. So you're really only paying payments on $122,000 worth of debt?
Correct.
Okay. All right. Including your student loans, your car, your personal loans, and the credit cards. 97. Okay. This is the first budget you've done, isn't it? This weekend. Okay.
Yeah.
So it sounds like you put stuff in this budget that needs to come out. I mean, did you use the budget forms and feel like you had to put something in every blank or something?
No. I
Wait a minute. Are you guys putting money into your 401k?
We are not. No.
How big was your tax refund?
It was only about $2,500. Okay. My husband has the health insurance coming out. Okay. His paycheck, and we have kids. We're a family of 5, so we're heavy in health insurance.
How much is the health insurance?
He pays about $400, I want to say.
That's not it. All right, I can't figure out where this money's all going then.
We have $3,000 in the debt category. We had $3,000 in the debt category.
Yeah.
The mortgage is what?
$1,299. Yeah. All right. It's 42.
We have the utilities. I don't know.
I can't figure out where it's all going because your take-home pay should be $7,000. Is it?
We're bringing home almost $6,000 a month.
Not quite 6,000?
Not quite 6. It's about 58. Maybe we have our exemptions. Maybe we have 4 exemptions. It's 5 of us, so I don't think that would be it. I know he's doing his health insurance. I do not believe he's putting money into his pension.
Okay, I think you need to look and see where all the money is going because $100,000 is $8,300 a month before taxes. Okay. And you're only getting home, and he's getting home with $2,300 less than that, and that means your taxes would be, and your health insurance would be $30,000 a year, and that's not right. There's something wrong.
Okay.
You're not getting home with enough
I would
money.
have to look at his.
Yeah, you're not getting home with enough money. I want you to look at your statements and make sure the 401ks are stopped. I would slap the student loans on hardship deferral, and then I would start looking around, seeing what we can sell, and let's tighten this budget up and make sure you don't have anything budgeted for restaurants and, you know, are you over budgeting in a certain category, and let's try to figure out where all the money's going. You do have a lot of mouths to feed, no doubt about it, and I don't think this is a cakewalk. I don't think it's easy, but it shouldn't be 500 in the hole. That's throwing me off. Part of it is your take-home pay appears to be off, just listening to it. And so I'm going to keep working on your check. Let's figure that check out. Let's keep working the problem. More and more detail, more and more information. Keep combing the tangles out, combing the tangles out of the hair, combing the tangles out. I want to straighten it out. I want to go straight here and just get the, you know, get it to where it's very clear where every dollar is coming from and exactly where every dollar is going to. And we don't quite have that dialed in. But the family loan you're not paying on today, if you take the student loans and don't pay on them today, then that gets you down to just a handful of debts. And you can begin to knock out some of those credit cards, knock that car out, and then reach over and knock those stupid personal loans out, and then, you know, work on the student loans and the family loans as last. And family loans are going to be last because they're the bottom of the debt snowball. And if you pay nothing on them until you get to them, by the time you get down there, if you didn't have any payments but a house payment and the family loan, you can pay the family off in no time. And that's what I'm seeing. So anyway, making $97,000, if you paid off $40,000 a year, it takes you 4 years and some change to get out of debt. So we're going to have to increase our income too in this process. And so he's back to looking for that other part-time job to be able to make this work. You've got a lot of debt. That's the biggest problem. And I want it all cleared. But right now, today, you know, if you don't pay payments on the student loans because it's hardship deferral, and you don't pay payments on the family loans, we just got $100,000 worth of the debt sidelined until you get the other debt cleaned. And so now we've got $72,000 to knock out. How fast can we do that? Making 97, 2 years. You should be down to the student loans and the family loans in 2 years. And then it's going to get hard. It's going to get hard from there. And so hope that helps you. Hope that helps the process. But you stick with it. Keep beating on it. And if I can help you further, you call me anytime. This is The Dave Ramsey Show. Sharon and I have 5 grandchildren now. As our family grows, our desire to protect these little people is intensified. And that's why more and more I see home security as a necessity for many people. I fully believe it's your responsibility to protect your family. SimpliSafe Home Security is the smart, affordable way to do it. With SimpliSafe, you won't have to sign any long-term contracts. For just $14.99 per month, SimpliSafe will monitor your home around the clock and send police when you need help. SimpliSafe also offers award-winning wireless protection. In fact, the setup is so easy, you'll have your home completely secured in an hour. And if you try SimpliSafe and don't love it, you can get a full refund with your 60-day money-back guarantee. And that's why I trust them. So love and protect your family. Go to SimpliSafeDirect.com right now and save 10%. SimpliSafeDirect.com. SimpliSafeDirect.com.
Special report, Justice Kennedy retires. Praise from President Trump on the retirement of Justice Anthony Kennedy.
He's been a great justice of the Supreme Court. He is a man who is displaying great vision. He's displayed tremendous vision and tremendous heart, and he will be missed.
Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell says he hopes to approve a new justice by the fall. Senate Democratic Leader Chuck Schumer.
This is the most important Supreme Court vacancy for this country in at least a generation. Nothing less than the fate of our health care system, reproductive rights for women, and countless other protections for middle-class Americans are at stake.
President Trump says he will pick from an existing list of potential candidates. He says he discussed some potential names in a discussion with Justice Kennedy today, but he would not reveal any of the names. I'm Mike Moss.
Protecting data across modern decentralized networks presents challenges that traditional backup solutions can't handle. At best, you'll waste time and money managing multiple solutions. At worst, gaps in coverage will leave your data vulnerable. Barracuda Backup is a single cloud-integrated solution that simplifies the backup process and allows data replication to anywhere on your network, a private cloud, Barracuda's cloud, or to the AWS public cloud. Reclaim your data. Try Barracuda Backup free at barracuda.com/backup.
The Westwood One Podcast Network. CRTV's Here's the Deal with Deneen Borelli.
The left despises anyone associated with President Trump. Ivanka Trump is fair game to the left simply for being the president's daughter. And I thought liberals were the champions for all women.
Here's the Deal with Deneen Borelli. Download and subscribe at Apple Podcasts, Google Play, and the Westwood One Podcast app. Free from the Westwood One Podcast Network.
Southern Illinois weather. Chance for isolated thunderstorms this afternoon. Otherwise, sunshine mixed with clouds at times. Daytime high is approaching 87. Southwest winds 8 to 15 miles per hour. Chance for scattered thunderstorms tonight. Lows around 73. Partly cloudy. Chance for scattered storms again tomorrow. 91. From the Weather Eye Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki on Monster Radio AM 1150. Currently, it's 84.
I had to know, between Holiday World and Splash and Safari, which park my kids love the most. So like any loving mom, I flung them backwards up and over the hills on Mammoth. Then I subjected them to 5 pitch-black tunnels and a high-speed double helix on the Legend.
No matter what you think is the best at Holiday World, get your trip started with our Pick Your Price calendar and find the days that work best with your budget. Only at holidayworld.com.
It was a tie. Holiday World and Splash and Safari are both the best.
On September 24, 2019, WGGH will celebrate 70 years on the air. George Dodds and Hardly Grisham both realized their dream in 1949 as WGGH crackled to life for the first time, with a format of local information, country and western, and big band. Then in 1955, the station moved from its near Carbon Street location to a new state-of-the-art facility on Old Route 13 east of Marion, and increased power to 5,000 watts, delivering a signal into parts of 5 states. WGGH was one of the top-rated stations in Southern Illinois with its pop MOR format. In the late 70s, then sole owner George Dodds decided, with FM taking hold, it was time to follow his heart and change to a Christian format, which remained until Fishback Media realized in 2008 that in order to remain relevant, programming must be diversified. A talk format with some remaining Christian programming was put into place and continues today. There's been many changes of format and ownership and location over the years, but one thing remains constant: WGGH's desire to first serve Marion and secondly Southern Illinois. If you need to move some earth, call Neat Cut Dirt Work. You've heard the Neat Cut name for years. They can do topsoil, fill dirt, tear buildings or houses down, dozer work. You name it, Neat Cut can move some earth. Neat Cut Dirt Work in Marion. Call 922-4400. 922-4400. It's a dirty job, but somebody's got to do it. Neat Cut Dirt Work in Marion. 922-4400.
Picture this. You're sitting at your computer reading the day's news. You click on the next interesting headline only to get...
You have reached this month's limit of free stories. Please enter your credit card number to continue.
Well, not with Dateline Marion. Dateline Marion is a community news website that covers Marion and Williamson County, and there is no limit to the number of stories you can read. That's no limit this week, this month, or this year. Check us out at DatelineMarion.com for local news when you want it, as often as you want it. Oh, and by the way, it's free.
You're listening to The Dave Ramsey Show on Monster Radio AM 1150, keeping Southern Illinois connected. Thank you for joining us, America. We're glad you're here. Open phones at 888-825-5225. Bree is in Phoenix, Arizona. Hi, Bree. How are you?
Hi, Dave. I'm good. How are you?
Better than I deserve. What's up?
Good. So I have a question for you. I am on baby step number 2, and I've been hitting it pretty hard. I paid off about $7,100 in debt just last month. But I have this calling that started about 2 months ago of starting my own online business, and I've done some budgeting for it, and it looks like an initial investment is going to be between $3,000 to $4,000.
Why?
I obviously, what I want to do is publish a few different books and then sell them online, and then eventually grow the business and have a lot of different books and resources online. So that's kind of what I've anticipated right now.
Okay.
And I'm wondering,
Are you familiar with on-demand printing?
I am not.
Okay. It's a little expensive per unit, but until you've sold some books, I'm more concerned that you don't build up a bunch of inventory of something you've never sold yet.
Right.
So if you have some books that you want to write and put out, I would just do them as on-demand, meaning you can actually set up with an on-demand print shop to print the book and mail it to your customer.
Oh, okay.
One at a time.
Okay.
And that way you don't have to pre-order a bunch of them. Now, again, you're going to pay double for them what you would pay if you ordered 10,000 books.
Sure.
But I don't want you ordering 10,000 books when you haven't sold anything yet.
Right. Yeah, that's a good point.
While you're getting out of debt,
Right.
And so you can do that. You can actually do it with Amazon if you want to set it up that way. They'll do it. And their deal's not half bad. And they'll post the book on Amazon for sale as well if you want them to. Now, they take a cut out of everything. They're Amazon. Keep that in mind. But it's a pretty cool on-demand print fulfillment system all in one-stop shop. And, it's a way to get your book out there. It's not what you want to do if the thing catches fire and turns into a big book. You'll step back then and you can take it away from them. You don't have to leave it with them forever and start printing your own and get a lot better deal that way. I mean, because certainly the printing business a little bit. If you print one, it's expensive. If you print 10,000, it's a whole lot less. If you print 100,000, it goes way down per unit. But you got to be able to sell them, and so that's a way I'd get started. And that way, it doesn't cost you anything out of pocket. It's just the sweat of your brow as you type out this new book. What's the book about?
So the online company that I'm wanting to start, I'm a marriage and family therapist, and so what I'd like to do is self-publish quite a few different miniature workbooks and handbooks that parents can use with their kids, they can use as couples, to kind of just tackle everyday problems that don't really warrant them needing a therapist.
That's great.
Because self-help books are written by who knows who. And so I'd really just like to kind of cut out the guesswork and have just one online company that they can go to and know that the information is reputable, it's research-based, all of that.
Very good. That's perfect. I mean, in a very real sense, that's how Financial Peace started. Only it was back in the day. There was no internet, and there was certainly no online printing, and so I did have to spring for $4,000 and carry home 1,000 copies in my car with the trunk wired shut, and then hope the kids could help me put them into envelopes in the living room floor and get them sold in mail order, right? So it was really, really, really difficult. But today you've got a lot easier entry points and methodologies you can use here that are just far superior. And so that's what I would do, and just get that going. Hey, and jump on Business Boutique with Christy Wright. There's a bunch of ladies on there that are probably doing some things that are close enough, they're similar enough that they could give you some good advice on details and how to get through the process that I'm laying out for you there. And I'll send you a copy of Christy's book, Business Boutique, Equipping Women to Make Money Doing What They Love. And that obviously sounds like you. Hey, thanks for the call. Elise is with us in Cleveland, Ohio. Hi, Elise. How are you?
Hi, good. How are you doing, Dave?
Better than I deserve. What's up?
Awesome. Hey, thanks for taking my call. I had a question. So my son and I had to leave our home, and we are living with my parents right now. And during this time, I have the great ability to be able to work from home, but I don't, so I don't have to put my son in daycare, but I don't make a lot. And so I was wondering, do I put him in daycare even though I really can't afford it just to try to scale my income, or do I stay with what I'm doing right now and just little by little, I guess, try to rebuild myself?
Yeah. Sounds like you guys have been through a really tough situation.
Yes, sir.
Okay. We had to leave our home, you said.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. I'm sorry. How old are you?
28.
And how old is your son?
He's only 20 months.
Well, I'm glad your mom and dad are there for you. That's a good thing. So how long have you been with mom and dad? How long ago did you leave home?
Since January, so 6 months.
Okay. And how much income have you earned during that time?
I just make $15 an hour.
Okay. And how many hours
But
are you?
it's a remote position, so I don't have to go into work.
I got you. How many hours are you getting?
40.
Oh, that's good.
Each week.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's helpful. And in what field? What's your remote? What are you doing?
I'm real estate investment, so I do all the leads for an investment company.
Okay, so you're doing lead generation. Okay, good.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so then what you're doing there is survival, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, money for survival. This is not like, I mean, you came into a horrible situation and you had to create some income, and so you're smart and you're a hard worker and you went, okay, I can do this and I can do it virtual and I can make a little bit of money and that'll get me going. That's my first step, is survival. So the next step past survival then is to start to think about, okay, where are you going to be when you're 40? And what do you want to be doing when you're 40? And when you start to figure out what that thing is, it's going to make a lot more money than you're making now, number one. Number two, there's going to be some steps to get there, some things you have to do to get to whatever that thing is that's going to make you a lot more money. That's who you want to be when you're 40 from a career standpoint. And when the 40-year-old looks back at the 40-year-old you looks back at the scared 30-year-old you, you're going to be real impressed with how resilient you are. You're a really strong lady. I can hear it. And because you've been through some crap, and I can hear that too. And so, you're just fighting, scratching and clawing here. The thing is, look out there and say, what do I want to be in the next chapter? So that the next chapter is a dream, not a nightmare. And what steps have I got to take to be one of those? I don't care what you want to be. I want to be a cardiac nurse. I want to write novels. I want to be president of the United States. I don't care what you want to be, but determine what that is, and it should make you a lot more money, than you're making now. But my guess is you probably have some training, some tooling. You have to be retooled to get to be one of those, whatever it is you're going to be. You follow me?
Right.
That then will answer your question about daycare. And you'll say, gosh, when I'm not making $16 an hour, matter of fact, when I quit measuring my income by the hour and start measuring it by the year, and I say I'm making $100,000 a year, well, all of a sudden daycare is not an issue. I make $70,000 a year. Well, daycare is not an issue. Oh, I make $70,000 a year running my own daycare, so daycare is not an issue. I don't know what it is you want to do. You follow me? But you've just kind of come in out of the cold, and you're just now trying to get the garbage off from around your neck, and you've done a good job with that first step. But then the next step is not, what's the next desperation job I take? The next step is, what are some steps I take to move towards my really cool life that I'm going to have when I'm 40? Because you deserve that, kiddo, and you're going to get it. If I can help further, you call me anytime. I'm sorry you're facing this. This is Dave Ramsey on Monster Radio, AM 1150. Join my buddies Rick and Bubba weekday mornings for fun the whole family can listen to. For years, I refused to endorse any company that claimed to get people out of timeshares. I told my listeners it's a horrible product and that, unfortunately, they didn't have a lot of options. Then a few years ago, I sat down with Brandon Reed, the owner of Timeshare Exit Team. Brandon walked me through the timeshare industry, and I learned that you can't sell them, and you can't even give them away. And then we talked about Timeshare Exit Team's process. Every ownership situation is different, which is why they have more solutions than any other company. And that's when they earned my respect. Don't call any of the imposters out there, and there's a lot. The only timeshare exit company I stand behind is Timeshare Exit Team. They have exited thousands from their timeshare burden this year alone. Yes, you will write them a check, but they stand behind their guarantee. They will get you out, or they'll give you a full refund. Call 844-999-EXIT. Online at timeshareexitteam.com.
Hot summer savings at Raven Tire. Buy 4 Michelin Auto or light truck tires and get a $70 MasterCard reward card. Also find savings on farm, truck, ATV, and RV tires. Visit RavenTire.com for your $29.95 coupon for an oil change and tire rotation. Hot summer savings. $70 back on 4 Michelin. Family, farm, or fleet. See the experts at Raven Tire. Michelin offer ends July 12, 2018. See redemption form for details. Void where prohibited. Reward card issued by U.S. Bank pursuant to a license by MasterCard International Incorporated.
Rich is just a really good guy. The term good egg isn't enough to describe him. He's also certified organic and free range. Rich puts the cap back on everything. The toothpaste, the olive oil, the shampoo, everything. He lets his 10-year-old nephew beat him at virtual tennis, even though he can straight up slay his 10-year-old nephew in virtual tennis. When the toilet paper is running low, Rich replaces the roll on the actual holder, not just on the back of the toilet. Rich is texting and driving. Rich, no. What are you doing, Rich? I was just telling everyone how great you are. Texting and driving makes good people look bad. Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org. A public service announcement brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Hi, I'm Joan London. When I needed to find senior care for my mom, I really struggled to find the right fit until I found an advisor, someone who had been through this before. That's why I recommend A Place for Mom, the nation's largest senior living referral service. They have experts who will help you ask the right questions and find the right place. Call A Place for Mom today.
To speak with a local senior living advisor, call A Place for Mom at 1-800-908-0265. That's 1-800-908-0265.
A Place for Mom has helped over 200,000 families find the right senior care for their parents, from assisted living to independent living, even Alzheimer's care, and have local advisors that can help explain your options at no cost to you.
To speak with a local senior living advisor, call A Place for Mom at 1-800-908-0265. That's 1-800-908-0265.
Call today.
This is Dave Ramsey on AM 1150, keeping Southern Illinois connected. Our scripture of the day, Romans 5:3-4. We also rejoice in our sufferings because we know suffering produces perseverance, and perseverance, character, and character, hope. Helen Keller said, character cannot be developed in ease and quiet. Only through the experience of trial and suffering can the soul be strengthened, ambition inspired, and success achieved. Merle is in New York. Hi, Merle. How are you?
Hi, how are you?
Better than that.
Sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead. Your phone is messed up. It sounds like you're in a barrel.
Oh, can you hear me now?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. How can I help?
So I'm calling because, well, one, I have good news. I paid off my student loan Monday.
Yay!
So, yay, I'm excited about that. But I'm also calling because I also have some bad news. I made a big mistake and had put my ex-boyfriend's phone under my name and the phone bill under my name. And we ended up switching it over to him, the responsibility, but they never switched over the actual phone payment to his name. And so now I'm stuck with the phone bill. And I've been trying to call the company back and just been getting the runaround. And they sent it to collections. So I don't know what to do.
What do you mean you're getting the runaround?
Well, they're not getting back to me as to why the phone payment wasn't put under his name as we had talked about.
Mm-hmm.
and no one seems to have an answer.
Okay, how much is the bill?
$760.
Okay, and where is he?
He's, I mean, we don't speak, so.
Yeah. Okay. Well, there's 763 reasons for you to call him and tell him to pay his bill.
Right.
Can you do that?
I mean, I was hoping not to have another interaction, but...
Yeah, I'm hoping you didn't have to either, but that, you know, you kind of ruined that idea when you signed up to pay his phone bill. So,
right.
And then you need to call this company and have a really detailed conversation with them, not a runaround, a really
right.
detailed conversation that says you're not liable for anything else from this day forward.
Right. I mean, when I had spoke to them initially when I received the bill, they told me, like, I called to inquire about it and why, and they told me that to ignore it, which is what I did. And then a couple of months later, I got another letter from collections. So
yeah. So this ignoring it is not working.
No.
Yeah. So you can't ignore it. So if anybody else tells you that, say no. I'm not going to ignore it, because you're not ignoring it. You idiots are sending me collection letters, and you're sending me collection, and you need to get this done. You need to get it fixed immediately, and just keep calling them. Make yourself a nuisance to this company until this is cleared up. That's what happened here is you were sloppy in your decision making, as you said. You did something really dumb. You signed up for his bill. Then the second thing that happened was you were sloppy in your follow-through to make sure it was taken care of. You have to close the loop on all these business transactions. You have to weave it together and in such a way that it absolutely doesn't have any room to move, meaning that you have gotten detailed confirmations in writing that all these things are put behind you over and over and over and over again on each one of these things. Anytime this stuff happens, you can't just do a drive-by and expect these companies that are incompetent to have your best interest at heart, because they just don't. Jay is in Canton, Ohio. Hi, Jay. How are you?
Good. How are you, Dave?
Better than I deserve. What's up?
My brothers and I had lost my father in December.
I'm sorry.
And he left us an inheritance.
Mm-hmm.
And everything is in a trust.
Mm-hmm.
And the way the trust is written, it gives us the opportunity to keep that money in trust.
Mm-hmm.
Would you suggest that we keep that?
There's no point.
You know, okay, that's, I mean, he left about $1 million.
Okay, so about each of you got about $300,000.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
And how old are you?
I'm 52.
Okay. Are you going to misbehave with the $300,000? No.
No.
Okay. You're not a 14-year-old. You don't need a trust.
Okay.
Okay. And there's no tax benefit to the trust, and there's no investment benefit to the trust. And so, what are you going to do with the $300,000?
Invest it.
Okay. You got any debt?
No.
You don't owe on your house?
Well, we owe $40,000 on our house.
Let's pay that off.
No other debt.
Okay. Let's pay that off. And so, there's only three things you can do with money. You should invest it, you should give it, and you should enjoy it.
Okay.
And I think doing all three would probably make your father smile.
Yeah. Now, one other question. He has an IRA in there
mm-hmm.
that he had solely in my name.
Mm-hmm.
Now, would you suggest just, like, cashing that out?
No, that's called an inherited IRA, and you can roll that over. You're required to pull a certain amount every year out and become taxable on an inherited IRA, but you don't have to pull it all out at once. And I would let it just sit there and grow if you don't need it. How much of the 300 is in that?
220.
Oh, okay, a ton of it. Okay. Well, I would make sure that that's all invested in a way that you're okay with inside the IRA. But an inherited IRA is not a bad thing. And so if you get with your investment broker, if you don't have one, go to SmartVestor at DaveRamsey.com, click SmartVestor, fill out the stuff. It'll drop down a list of the SmartVestor pros in your area. You can select the one that you would like in your area among the ones that we recommend. They'll sit down with you and help you and guide you through that process and help you get that rolled over into an inherited IRA. And, you know, that way you can pick some good growth stock mutual funds. I personally Jay, I spread my investments in mutual funds across 4 types: growth and income, aggressive growth, and international, and all with a 10-year track record or more, and so that I know what I'm getting into, something very stable, very conservative portfolio. Quincy's in Detroit, Michigan. Hi, Quincy. How are you?
Hello, Dave. Finding yourself, sir.
Better than I deserve. What's up?
All right, quick question. I made a dumb decision. I took a buyout in 2013. I was teaching. So long story short, they were going to pay like $42,000 over a 5-year period. I took my pension out. I tried a business thing. It didn't work. So my question to you is, the buyout will complete in about in October. It will be worth about $55,000, give or take. My pension payback amount is $58,000 plus interest. So I said I just take the money from the 403B, throw it at that. However, they told me I only can do a plan-to-plan transfer, so I can't use that money towards the pension unless I cash it out. And since I'm only 44, I'm pretty sure that'd be a pretty steep penalty.
I would not put it towards the pension. I wouldn't catch your pension up.
So you what?
I would not buy pension years.
Okay.
It's a bad investment. I think you're better off to have the investment in good mutual funds. It'll give you own the money. It doesn't die when you die, and it'll give you a better rate of return.
Okay, because I'm 44, so I got a few more years to, work or whatever. So I was just thinking as far as a guaranteed income with the pension, but then there's a chance that the pension may not even be there. So that's why I wanted to
here's the other thing. When you die, the pension's worth $0.
Okay.
If you put $58,000 in a 401k or in an IRA rollover from your 403b, okay, you put $58,000 in there in good mutual funds. In 7 years, when you're 51, that'll be worth about 110, and then in 7 more years, when you're 58, it'll be worth about 230. And in 7 more years, when you're 65, it'll be worth about $500,000. So you got $500,000 in your name when you die that you can use for retirement. That pension would have been worth $0. You see?
Okay. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. So that's why I'm not going to have you buy years into a pension. I'd rather you own the money, because it'll, if you'll leave it alone and let it grow as an investment, it'll be a great nest egg for you in retirement, and it doesn't die when you die. So that's why you controlling your money is a lot better off than a pension controlling it. Never buy years into a pension. Never. That puts this hour of the Dave Ramsey Show in the books. We'll be back with you before you know it. In the meantime, remember, there's ultimately only one way to financial peace, and that's to walk daily with the Prince of Peace, Christ Jesus.
Hey guys, it's Blake Thompson, Chief Production Officer for the Dave Ramsey Show. This hour's up, but you'll find more on our YouTube channel, where we have over 6 million YouTube views each month. You can find debt-free screams, millionaire hour clips, Dave rants, and so much more. Go check it out.
Hey y'all, I'm Christy Wright, and I'm all about equipping women to make money doing what they love. One of the questions I hear all the time is, how do I know what business I should start? Some people have a ton of ideas, while others have a hard time coming up with one. Finding your idea can be overwhelming, but it doesn't have to be. I can help. I'm so excited to tell you about my brand new course, Business Idea Bootcamp, the 4-step course you need to go from dreaming to doing. In this course, I'll show you how to brainstorm all of the ideas from the most important areas in your life, how to identify which ideas to focus on, how to test and narrow down your ideas, and how to identify action steps that bring your best idea to life. By the end of this course, you will be ready to chase your dream and turn your idea into income. I can't wait to start this journey with you. I want to help you find your best business idea. Sign up for Business Idea Bootcamp at businessboutique.com. That's businessboutique.com.
W253CR Marion, now at 98.5 FM, and the legendary WGGH Marion.
Special report: Justice Kennedy retires. I'm Mike Moss. President Trump is offering high praise for retiring Supreme Court Justice Anthony Kennedy.
He's a very spectacular man, really a spectacular man. And I know that he will be around hopefully for a long time to advise, and I believe he's going to be teaching and doing other things.
The president says he has a list of candidates and hopes to make a nomination of a successor shortly. Supreme Court reporter Ariane DeVoe on a possible contender.
Thomas Hardiman. And Hardiman is interesting because he was the runner-up, many people say, for Gorsuch's seat. President Trump really liked his life story. No Ivy Leagues. He spent time driving a cab to get his way through school. So he's a big contender.
Justice Kennedy had been on the high court since 1988, often playing role of swing vote on critical cases involving high-profile issues, including abortion and same-sex marriage. I'm Mike Moss. President Trump is expected to meet with Russian President Putin during a trip to Europe next month. His national security advisor John Bolton arranged the visit while in Moscow.
It's important for the leaders of these two countries to meet. There are a wide range of issues, despite the differences between us, where both President Trump and President Putin think they may be able to find constructive solutions. I'd like to hear someone say that's a bad idea.
A federal grand jury indicted the suspect behind last summer's deadly vehicle incident in Charlottesville, Virginia, on federal hate crime charges. James Fields is alleged to have run over a protester at a white supremacist rally. Criminal homicide charges have been filed against an East Pittsburgh police officer in the shooting death of Antoine Rose. Rose, shot 3 times by Officer Michael Rossfeld, was unarmed. The shooting has touched off street protests. On Wall Street, the Dow closed down 162, S&P down 23. I'm Mike Moss.
It's Jeff from Cat Spot Litter. If you own a cat, you know how much of a hassle it is buying that heavy, dusty clay litter at the store every couple weeks. Are you ready to save time and money? Well, listen up. I've invented a new cat litter that is lightweight, dust-free, and made from 100% real coconut. It's called Cat Spot Litter. There ain't nothing better at zapping cat urine smells either. The best part? For only $15, we ship a 30-day supply right to your front door. Shoot, we even offer a money-back guarantee. Jump on the coconut bandwagon and get rid of that toxic clumping clay litter. Start thinking healthy for you, your cat, and our planet. Go to catspotlitter.com and give it a try. Use promo code SAVE for 15% off your first order. Hey, I appreciate you listening.
The Monster Radio Southern Illinois News Center time is 3 minutes past the hour.
Up-to-the-minute local information when you need it. This is a Southern Illinois News Center update.
Williamson County will vote to see if it joins other Southern Illinois counties that are against the state's tightening gun laws. Commissioner Brent Gentry wants the people of Williamson County to vote to see if they as a whole want to be a gun law sanctuary. Gentry says the county will use different language than what has been used by other counties in similar resolutions. The vote will be taken August 20th, and Gentry believes the vote will be in favor of becoming a gun sanctuary. A Marion man was arrested and charged with intent to deliver cannabis, unlawful possession of a firearm, and driving while license suspended following a traffic stop that led officers to search his house and impound his vehicle. 25-year-old Malcolm D. Vishard was pulled over about 11 a.m. Monday near the intersection of Vinewood Lane and Pickett Lane in Marion. Police said he possessed cannabis and also was arrested for driving on a suspended license. Detectives later searched Vishard's house. At the house, police found about 1,700 grams of cannabis, a semi-automatic shotgun, weighing equipment, packaging materials, and a large sum of U.S. currency. The judge will sentence a man in August for murdering an SIU student more than 4 years ago. A jury found Gage Bethune guilty on one of 2 first-degree murder counts June 14th in the death of Praveen Varghese in February of 2014. Tuesday morning, Jackson County court officials said Bethune's sentencing hearing has been set for August 15th. Police found Varghese's body in the woods off Route 13 on the east side of Carbondale nearly a week after he and Bethune got into a fight. Prosecutors said Bethune injured Varghese enough to warrant a murder charge predicated on battery. Bethune's attorney plans to ask for a new trial. Carmi police say that a man wanted for assault has been arrested. According to police, 18-year-old Harold Ivey of Carmi was charged with 2 counts of aggravated assault and 1 count of criminal damage to property under $500. In the newsroom, I'm Tim Petrovich.
Bigger, faster, higher, wetter. Only at Six Flags and only this summer. With one scream-inducing thrill after another. Like Superman and Ninja. Plus, cool off all summer in our giant free water park with the all-new Typhoon Twister. Coming soon. Drop down a 5-story plunge, whirl around a 40-foot bowl, and ride the giant wave. Go for the best deal. Save up to $21 on admission at SixFlags.com. Go big. Go Six Flags St. Louis.
Southern Illinois weather. Chance for isolated thunderstorms this afternoon. Otherwise, sunshine mixed with clouds at times. Daytime highs approaching 80. Southwest winds 8 to 15 miles per hour. Chance for scattered thunderstorms tonight. Lows around 73, partly cloudy. Chance for scattered storms again tomorrow, 91. From the Weather Eye Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki on Monster Radio AM 1150. Currently, it's 84.
When is the best time to talk to your family about staying in touch during a disaster? When floodwaters reach your door? When wildfires are engulfing the edge of your neighborhood? Or an earthquake is destroying buildings? Or is the best time perhaps today? During a disaster, you may not be able to stay in touch with your family or friends as easily as you think. Go to ready.illinois.gov and make your emergency plan today. Don't wait. Communicate. Brought to you by the Illinois Emergency Management Agency, FEMA, and the Ad Council.
Mike Gallagher. Next on Monster Radio AM 1150.
Breaking news at a breakneck pace. This is the Mike Gallagher Show.
All right, let's go. 1-800-655-MIKE. Call or text.
Since 1978, Mike Gallagher has been a voice of clarity for millions of Americans.
Thank you for asking the tough questions.
A show known by the most famous man on the planet.
You've been great, Mike, and I appreciate it very much. You notice I walked over here very quickly.
Now, from the ReliefFactor.com studios, here's Mike Gallagher.
Greetings from beautiful Houston, Texas, the great red state of Texas. I am Sam Malone, filling in for Mike today. What an honor. Love it. Mike was on my show, I think, on Monday. Yeah, Monday, right before he was broadcasting live from the border of Texas and Mexico. And he called in. We got a chance to chat. And I told him, listen, anytime you need me, you call. They called. I'm here, and it's an honor to talk to, hundreds of stations and millions of Mike Gallagher fans on such a big day today. Yeah, I mean, listen, if you remember, if you're a lib, you're alt-left, you're just going crazy today. Cray-cray, as the Utes of Philadelphia, my hometown, would say. I mean, you have this gigantic upset last night, New York, socialist win for a congressional seat. You've got the Supreme Court rulings that rolled down yesterday. Oh, man, like runaway beer kegs on making sure that those who come to our great country can be vetted, can actually have a background that can be checked. There was a great pro-life ruling, which the media, we call them the hashtag corrupt media. Hashtag corrupt media doesn't want to touch with a 10-foot pole. And then, of course, I believe that Washington's going to be busy today when one of the great Trump supporters, the former FBI, still FBI, Peter Strzok, will be giving his story. This was the guy having the affair, but the behind-the-scenes text messages of just extremism. Could you ask for a better day in America? It's beautiful. So with that said, I'm in Houston, but of course we're nationwide. Mike's number never changes, even if the boss isn't here. So if you want to get through to me here, 800-655-MIKE. 1-800-655-MIKE. Let me get a friend of our show on, John Malcolm. John was former Deputy Assistant Attorney General out of D.C., as we joke, Crim, now with Heritage, Director of the Meese Center for Legal and Judicial Studies. This guy's just got to be grinning ear to ear. John Malcolm, welcome to the Mike Gallagher Show.
Great to be with you, Sam. And by the way, the Supreme Court's going to make another announcement, big case today, that I think is also going to be a very big conservative win in the Janus case, which has to do with whether public sector non-union members, public sector employees can be compelled to pay union dues to public sector unions, and whether that violates the First Amendment.
Right,
and
so
I think that Justice Alito is going to be right in that opinion, and I think they're going to say that it does violate the First Amendment.
Can you hang on one second, Shot?
Put more champagne in the refrigerator.
Right. They're getting the cheap champagne ready. All right, well, let's walk. It's my budget. It's going to be cheap. Let's walk backwards and talk about what the hashtag corrupt media likes to call the Muslim ban, which is really a travel ban on states, on countries where there aren't even Muslim people living. John, I'm not a lawyer. You are. I've never been with the DOJ. You have. I wasn't surprised at the ruling. You?
No, I wasn't either. I attended the oral argument in that case, and I thought the Supreme Court had always taken this case in order to reverse it. There were two lower courts that had ruled against the president and had entered nationwide injunctions. The essence of their ruling was that several campaign statements that he had made and had made by some of his surrogates on the campaign trail, a couple after he was president, that they showed animus towards Muslims, and that really the presidential proclamation was not all about extreme vetting from countries that don't provide us accurate information, in some cases don't provide us information at all. It was really just a ban against Muslims. I always thought that this was a stretch. There are 7 countries in the proclamation. 5 of them are majority Muslim countries. There are, in fact, 49 or 50 majority Muslim countries throughout the world, so this is a very small number. The proclamation itself laid out the process that the administration went through in order to narrow the field down to these 7 countries, and then laid out in an unclassified setting exactly why each of these countries is on the list. And that's what the Supreme Court relied upon. So it was a 5-4 decision. Chief Justice John Roberts wrote it, and he said, look, we're not endorsing anything that the president may have said on the campaign trail, but we accord a lot of deference to the political branches, the executive branch and the legislative branch, when it comes to national security matters. They receive classified briefings. We don't. We are ill-equipped to engage as courts in this kind of fact-finding to keep our homeland safe, and that the showing that the president made in his proclamation was more than enough to satisfy the courts that they shouldn't go any further than that.
John Malcolm joining us, former Deputy Assistant Attorney General, now with Heritage. But going back to the president was perfectly within the lanes, right? He's driving down the highway of authority and privilege and such. He was totally within the lane to do what he did, to call for what he did. So I was surprised at all the outrage. I was surprised at all the the lower court rulings. I was surprised at the behavior after the ruling, sir.
Well, I wasn't particularly surprised because I think there are a huge number of people that just can't stand this president.
True. I meant
Congress had. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No. I'm saying I get it. They can't stand so no matter what happens. But this is the rules. The president did what he was allowed to do.
Yeah, so Congress had written into the Immigration and Nationality Act a long, long time ago that the president can deny the entry of any alien or any class of aliens if he believes that admitting them would be detrimental to the interests of the United States. That is clearly written law. The opposition, the state of Hawaii, argued that there are other provisions that talk about no discrimination on the basis of race or class or national origin, and that Congress really didn't mean to give him this broad an authority, that we hold out carrots to nations to cooperate with us in the sense of expedited visa waiver process, but we don't hold out sticks in terms of denying admission to people coming from their country. And the Supreme Court rejected all of that, said no, this statute's pretty plain. It supplements the president's other authority under the Immigration and Nationality Act. It doesn't trump other provisions of the Immigration and Nationality Act, and what he's done here is just fine. We may or may not like the tweets, but that doesn't matter. This was a religion-neutral proclamation, and there was ample justification for why these countries needed to be on the list. And it's basically because they are either safe havens for terrorism, they refuse to cooperate with us, or in some cases like Somalia, the country's barely holding together. Even if they wanted to cooperate with us, they lack the institutional capacity to do it.
And institutional capacity, John Malcolm, meaning that they don't really, like I joke, but they don't have like a DMV where they've got everyone's driver's
barely
license.
In control.
Right. Well, it's right.
They don't know much information about the people who are trying to come into and leave their country. And
so if the guy says, I'm coming in, where are you coming in from Mogadishu? What's your name? Bob. Okay, Bob. All right, come on in. And it's just, there is no way to really know the A's to Z of who's walking into the United States of America and what their intentions are, because there's no ability to do a secure background check or a strong background check. Gosh, when you
that's right.
When you buy a gun, you go through these background checks, or if you get your license to carry, you go through all of this paperwork. Well, that's the antithesis of what goes on in some places of the world. So it's pure common sense. It's just that it was brought forth by Donald J. Trump, which gave everybody this agita. All right, do me a favor.
Yeah, in fact, some of these countries had been previously designated as countries of concern by the Obama administration and the Department of Homeland Security when it was being run by Jay Johnson. And the American Civil Liberties lawyer who argued the case in Maryland said, yeah, look, if this proclamation had been signed by President Obama or any other president, we wouldn't be here in court. The only reason we're in here is because of these anti-Muslim statements that Donald Trump made.
All right, do me a favor. Can you hang on? I want to keep you on because there was a great pro-life ruling from the Supreme Court yesterday, which brought a great smile to the faces of those of us like myself who embrace life and the sanctity of life. John Malcolm, former Deputy Assistant Attorney General. I'm going to keep you over for one more break. Filling in, I'm Sam Malone in Houston, Texas, on The Mike Gallagher Show.
She calls out to the man on the street, "Sir, can you help me?"
Summertime is here. We all have kind of a love-hate relationship with summer, right? We love the beach, we love the barbecues, but sometimes you want to leave all that blistering heat outside. Well, upgrading your old tattered window coverings with SelectBlinds.com is the easiest and most inexpensive way to stay cool all summer long. Select Blinds, they offer a huge variety of blind shades and shutters that'll keep your home insulated and your electric bill low. I love my experience with Select Blinds. I'm a customer. I've got blackout shades in my master bedroom from SelectBlinds.com. And during these hot summer months, I keep the blinds down, the shades down, and the room stays nice and cool. To get the very best deals on blind shades and shutters, shop today. Go to SelectBlinds.com. You'll save money. You'll work with a customer service team that is second to none. SelectBlinds.com. Remember to mention the Mike Gallagher Show at checkout using the drop-down menu, and let SelectBlinds.com upgrade your home today. SelectBlinds.com.
If you're looking for a way to become politically involved but you don't have the time, you can easily make conservative change happen every time you use your cell phone. Patriot Mobile is the only conservative cell phone company in the nation that fights for your values. They partner with conservative organizations to contribute a portion of each member's bills to the causes that they believe in. Patriot Mobile can be your cell phone provider today. They can help you support vital conservative organizations and provide reliable nationwide coverage on unlimited plans starting at just $20 a month. This month, you can save big and get the iPhone 6s or a brand new Samsung J7 for only $6 a month. Make the switch at 1-800-A-PATRIOT or visit patriotmobile.com. That's patriotmobile.com or call 1-800-A-PATRIOT. Be a patriot. Switch and make conservative change today by using your cell phone. patriotmobile.com. Cellular resource for patriotism.
It's a real joy to be able to tell you about Relief Factor every day on the radio. You know, you've heard over and over again how dangerous prescription drugs can be. You know about the dangerous side effects of ibuprofen. That's why physicians made Relief Factor. It's made from high-quality fish oil and essential nutrients. And what it does is it goes to work on the inflammation that causes pain to begin with. Think about the pain that's preventing you from doing something right now in your life. Is it hard to get in and out of the car? You having a tough time opening up a jar of pickles in the kitchen? Are you like me? You had lower back pain. I had a spot on my SI joint that I thought was never going to go away. After 2.5 weeks of trying Relief Factor, it was gone. This really, really works. 80% of people who try the 3-week quick start buy it again. Go to relieffactor.com. Try the 3-week quick start. It's $19.95. If after 3 weeks it doesn't work, just notify them. You're only out $20. What do you have to lose except the pain? Relieffactor.com or call 800-500-8384, 800-500-8384 for Relief Factor.
Mike Gallagher.
The following is not an actor, but a real-life story from Trinity Debt Management.
It's probably been about 10 years ago. I had quite a few credit cards. The interest on the cards was really high. I was making the minimum payments, but barely. And it was just getting to be too much, so I called Trinity.
If you're in debt and you need help, call Trinity at 1-800-990-6977.